Scottish Fiesta ST Cup Race 2 is about to get underway, and they're away to make their way onto the grid. So let's have a look at the grid for their final race of the day. Stephen Gray is going to take pole position with Liam McGill in second place. Ian Blackley is going to be on row 2 alongside Andrew Mackey. Then it's on row 3, Gerald Henry with Brodie Orr on row 3. Row 4 is going to be Peter Cruikshank and Kieran Preedy. Row 5 is going to be Lauren Murray alongside Lucy Hales-Maver. Row 6 is going to be Nicholas Forsyth and Stuart Murray. And then Stephen Ward at the back of that row 7. However, we'll see if he's going to be out there because of that damage inflicted on the car in that first race of the day. Scottish ST Cup Race 2, that's what we are here to watch just now. And as we said, Stuart Murray looks to be the final car that takes to the grid. So no sign of Stephen Ward. There's the green flag. Without any further ado, and barely a chance to catch breath, we go live for our next race of the afternoon. 3 races left to go. After this one, it's going to be the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup and then the Scottish Legends Car Championship. So we are just poised and ready to go. As we said, Stephen Gray, Liam McGill, the 2 championship protagonists up at the front of this race here. The notes rise, the lights are on, we get ready to go racing, away we go. It's a cracking start for both of the polemen. Stephen Gray and Liam McGill both off like scalded cats down into turn 1 then. Who is going to come out on top? It looks like Liam McGill. What a start for Liam McGill. Goes right round the outside into Duffus Dip. We're down into McIntyre's already. And what a start for your championship protagonist to already get that done. We're keeping an eye on the 54 of Nick Forsyth there as the cars come streaming through for the first lap here. And that is the number 7 at the back there of Stuart Murray here. Lots of action going on, lots of dust being kicked up there. You can see the 21 of Kieran Preedy. Brodie Orr is in there somewhere as well. You can see him there in 5th position. That was a little bit of a look there from Stephen Gray up the inside. And from last week, the 35 comes flying in. That was bold and optimistic from Andrew Mackey. But to be fair to him, he absolutely almost made that work there. Didn't come anywhere near to contact with the car that was just in front of him there. Looks like Brodie Orr under a little bit of pressure there for the battle for 5th position, but it's still Liam McGill in the lead of the race there. He has lost that position, so Brodie Orr loses the position, gets it straight up the inside into McIntyre's there. They're still side by side coming down through Butchers. It's Kieran Preedy and Brodie Orr. Brodie Orr gets the position done. So there you go. That is fantastic stuff from Brodie Orr there. Bold and as brave as you like there. You can see just up in front as well, though. That is the battle for 3rd and 4th position. That is between Ian Blackley and Gerald Henry, who are fighting it out. Have a look at Kieran Preedy. He's looking a little bit menacing. He's going to be right to the inside of the hairpin then. He might get the move done. That's the 35 going to try and make a move on the inside as well. Andrew Mackey, Brodie Orr just left for dead on that one. You hate to see it, but Brodie, I mean, that's so unlike him. We've seen Brodie fighting for everything he can there, but had no straight line speed whatsoever there, and now has been left to Andrew Mackey to try and fend off that one. Because look at Kieran Preedy. In fact, Andrew Mackey already away through. I wonder if there's a problem with that car here, because Brodie Orr just not able to make the same impact, the same effort that he was able to do in that race 1 there. So there could be something that is niggling at that car right now. That would explain it. Oh, the huge moment there for Brodie Orr. kept it going, kept the foot in. On the exit of the chicane there, we saw exactly the same thing on the C1s there, and something is going on with Brodior. You can see how much he's having to overdrive that car there. He's really pushing it in to within an inch of its life here, but have a look at the 147 now of Gerald Henry onto the back of Ian Blackley. He's trying to give it a go as well. Stephen Gray still on the back of Liam McGill. That gap opened up to now 0.8 of a second between first and second place. We've got 9 laps left to go in this race here. Liam McGill bounces over the hill there. So does Stephen Gray. And then you've got this fight here. Ian Blackley, Gerald Henry. You've got Kieran Preedy now coming into the mix. And that's a move up the inside. And well, Gerald Henry. I mean, that I don't know if something happened to the 333 of Ian Blackley, but it just felt like Gerald Henry was able to just take that position with absolutely no fight whatsoever. Now, what is going to be the issue is Kieran Preedy fancies taking this position as well. It's a great run out of Clark's. He's going to be in the tow right now, but have a look at Andrew Mackey also in the background as well. And that's going to be deep into the corner from Ian Blackley. That's going to compromise the exit. Now that's going to force Kieran Preedy backwards into Andrew Mackey. Brodior is potentially going to get a comeback at this as well. This is for the final podium position right now then. As the cars come across the line, still Liam McGill from Stephen Hendry. And you can see the cars coming down throh Duffus Dip there. Ian Blackley in that 4th position. Still trying to hold on to Gerald Henry, but I don't think he's going to be able to do it right now. A little bit of dust gets kicked up from one of the cars up in front. I think that might be Stephen Gray. And wow, what do you say to that Brodior? He is a man on a knife edge right now, and it looks fantastic. It looks brilliant to see, but he is flirting with disaster on that one. You're only going to get away with that so many times, and that's going to be a big accident if that happens here. So I just need to see Brodior just kind of tone that down a little bit here, because he's not gaining anything from it. He's pushing the car really, really hard. Although from all we know here, if he does have a problem, he's maybe having to fight this hard just to stay in contention with Andrew Mackey and Kieran Preedy. And with his age, with Brodior being a young lad, he is a very, he takes after his dad, very, very hungry race driver. He wants to get the best possible result that he can. He will fight tooth and nail to get it, and that's exactly what we're seeing here today. Unfortunately, in days like this, you just have to work with what you've got and maybe just dial it back a little bit and make sure you finish. However, what we have seen in previous races is that car can come back to him. He's maybe overheated the tyres a little bit, and they're a little bit slippery, a little bit slidey, but give it another couple of laps, they cool back down, and it comes back to him. So don't be surprised to see Brodior starting to make moves up through the field again, but it's still Liam McGill from Stephen Gray. You can see Ian Blackley still trying to hold on to that position there, but it's not quite happening. He's just not able to get away from Kieran Preedy as much as he'd like. We've got 6 laps left to go in this race here. And again, another absolute classic from the Fiestas. It might not have the door banging that the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup has, or the Citroen C1s, but this is still just an absolute classic. You get the feeling that it's on simmer, it's on boil. You're waiting for something to absolutely kick this off. And with 6 laps left to go, it's still definitely happening. Brodior throwing that car to within an inch of its life right now. And I cannot take much more of watching Brodior drive this car, because it's going to go one way. It's either going to be that it hooks up, he gets the car coming back to him, and he suddenly starts tearing through this field and gets himself back up to the podium, or more likely, it's going to end up that that car ends up spinning off or facing the wrong way. We will wait and see, because as I say, I'm hoping it's the former, because such an incredible talent behind that wheel. However, further back then, Peter Cruikshank in 8th position, Lorne Murray in 9th, Lucy Hales-Maver with a great performance in 10th position, Nick Murray in 11th, and Stuart Murray, Nick Forsyth in 11th place, and Stuart Murray currently down in P8. 12 just now. You're seeing a little bit of a gap opening up there. Gerald Henry getting a little bit of daylight between himself and Ian Blackley in that fourth position right now. Kieran Preedy still trying to hold on to the back end, but again, the big power slide this time from Kieran Preedy. He's got Andrew Mackie all over the back of him now, and Broadhior still within contention at the back of this group. The fact that he's still holding on when it looks like there's a power difference or a power issue with that car, he gets dropped in a straight line, but he absolutely makes up for it in the corners on this one. 5 laps left to go then here in the Fiesta STs. 4 laps left to go, excuse me, as the cars come across the line to make another lap down here. And again, I've got absolutely no idea how this one is going to pan out. It looks quite good for Liam McGill at the front. He looks comfortable, he looks composed. His last laps has been consistency. 102.1 was that last lap there. Before that was a 102.0. Before that was a 102.0. Before that was a 101.9. So consistency seems to be the order of the day for Liam McGill. Stephen Gray, though, is going to try and ratchet up that pressure, but he might be happy with second place. He might be thinking, right, I've done what I can for today. Have to leave it for the next round, and we're going to have to bring it into the final round. However, personal best that last lap round there, Gerald Henry, 62.177 last lap round there. So Gerald Henry in the 147 still pushing very, very hard indeed. Broadhior definitely has dropped off the back of this group here. But have a look at Ian Blackley then, has still got Kieran Preedy fighting it down. And hang on a minute. That gap between your race leader and second place came down by half a second on that last lap there. That gap is now 7/10 of a second with 3 laps left to go. Stephen Gray has pulled the pin out. He is chasing desperately after Liam McGill right now. Is Liam McGill just managing the gap in this race? I would say he's not got enough of a gap to manage it. I would say that he can't be taking risks like that. And that definitely looks like Stephen Gray is absolutely closing onto the back end of your race leader. He's definitely pushing it. You can see the way that the car is flirting with the gravel trap on the exit of Clark Corner there. 3 laps left to go. This is it. This is go time. I wonder if Stephen Gray has tried to save the very best of this car for the final round or the final couple of laps. And you can see Liam McGill starting to go a little bit wide out of that final corner there. I think that's starting to get to him a little bit. Let's check what the gap is as they come across the line this time by. Still 7/10 of a second. Both nearly identical lap times last time round. 62.2. that time round there. So it's going to have to be something absolutely special from Stephen Gray if he's going to absolutely make this happen. And I don't know if there's enough left in the tank or if there's enough time to make this happen. But again, just have a look at the gap that these two have opened out over third and fourth and everyone else here. You barely get them in the same camera shot on this one. But again, Liam McGill onto the brakes, pulls the car round. We're on the penultimate lap of the race here. Our final Fiesta ST Cup race of the day. And it's still Liam McGill from Stephen Gray, from Gerald Henry. That's your top 3 into the hairpin then. And this is it. It's now or never for Stephen Gray. A little bit wide on the exit of the hairpin there for Liam McGill. But we have got our last lap board held out here. 6/10 of a second now, so 1/10 of a second down on that. Obviously not enough, but now you're going to start coming in to the range of a good toe down the back end here. But that was wide, that was sloppy from Stephen Gray into Duffus there. The car weaving about, but again gets a better exit from McIntyre. So it swings and roundabouts. He's losing out coming down through Duffus. But it looks like Liam McGill might have the measure of this race here. They're coming up over the chicane, up into Clark then for the final time. The car drifts round the corner here. And I think that is it. I think he's done everything he needs to do, barring a monumental last-minute lunge from Stephen Gray. I'm going to hold my breath in case that actually does happen. But I think Stephen Gray thinks better of it. Early turn in for Liam McGill, and that is going to be job done then. The final Fiesta ST race of the afternoon. Liam McGill takes the win then from Stephen Gray in second place. Gerald Henry is going to come across the line in no man's land in third position. Ian Blackley is just just, and I mean literally just there, you can see that ahead of Kieran Preedy. Andrew Mackey in 6th position. Rodior will finish in 7th position. It's going to be 8th position for Peter Cruikshank. Lauren Murray in 9th. It's going to be Lucy Hales-Maver in 10th position. Nick Forsyth, excuse me, in 11th place, and Stuart Murray in 12th as well. What a performance. Very unlucky for Stephen Gray not to be able to close that gap down, but a very strong performance by Liam McGill. Very well-deserved win there. Again, you know, you look at the performance from Brodior. He had a very good start to the race, tried to get himself right up there, and it just wasn't to be today. So great performance all round from the Fiestas, and as always, a huge thank you to them for making it such an enjoyable part of the Scottish Motor Racing Club Championship, the SMRC live race day here, sponsored by Reese Motorsport Insurance. So Liam McGill makes his way up into pit lane. He'll be coming across the line, and in just a second he'll be heading into the holding area very, very shortly. Up next though, ladies and gentlemen, we have got more races. We have 2 more left to go. It's the Scottish Mini Cooper Cup powered. That'll be up just next. That is, of course, powered by Project 21 Detailing and supported by Yokohama. And then the final race is going to be our Scottish Legends. But the roar of the Fiesta STs mean that the cars making their way into the holding area. And Andy Alston, I believe you've got them with you.
Great race once more in the Fiestas, and a massive win for that man there, Liam McGill, in the championship, beating his rival Stephen Gray to the checkered flag in the final race. Gerald Hendry taking the final step of the podium in the 147 car, but Liam McGill will be delighted to have taken the top step of the podium in the final race here this afternoon in this Fiesta Championship. So it sets up a very interesting finale, of course, at the last race meeting of the season, with Liam McGill looking to get his hands on that championship trophy. Liam, how big a win was that for you in this championship fight?
It's absolutely huge. You know, coming into this weekend, it was neck and neck with me and Stephen, and then in the first one there we had problems with overheating again, and you know, it was the head gasket, so we put 2 bottles of steel seal in and crossed our fingers again. I mean, we had to do this at Cadwell, but I need to get shares in the company, I think. But no, I mean, Stephen pushed me all the way there. I was just desperate on the checker flag coming out, but no, you know, he's a hard racer, and you know, may the best man win in the next one, I guess. Eh?
Yeah, no, absolutely. A really strong performance from yourself and Stephen there, as you mentioned. But going into the finale, of course, a little bit of a break until then. So what's the kind of game plan going to be in preparations for the last 2 races of the season?
Well, I mean, for us, we know that we can get the car kind of handling pretty well, so it's really just down to the engine. So we do all the usual kind of work to get the car up to spec, but we really need to take that engine out and get a look at it and make sure that we can really get to the bottom of this problem, because we just don't need that for the next one. Hopefully it rains for the next one. I like the rain a bit better, so I'll do my rain dance before as a preparation as well.
Good stuff, Liam. Many congratulations.
Thank you.
Liam McGill there taking the win in the final race here in the Fiestas, so he'll be very, very pleased with that one. Let's get a quick word with second place man Stephen Gray, who joins us now. Stephen, second place there in the finale. Great scrap once more with you and Liam McGill, and I suppose the stage is set for a thrilling finale.
It's equal on points, isn't it, going into the last round now, so it's as close as it gets. So I was just saying to Duncan there, he drove incredibly well, made no mistakes, so really didn't give me any opportunity to really have a go at him. It was next to nothing with us really, with the pace, you know. So he got a good start off the line, enough just to nick in front of me, just going into the first corner, and that was it. I was chasing ever since then. So yeah, unsuccessfully.
So looking ahead to the finale in October, anything you're going to maybe look at the car going into that one, or are you just going to try and just keep the momentum going and see where it takes you?
Yeah, the car's running well, so I don't know if there's too much more we can really do with it, and it'll be very weather dependent probably, you know, depending whether it's freezing cold and raining or nice and sunny, so we'll just have to play it by ear.
Great stuff, Stephen. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Stephen Gray there won the opening race here in the Fiestas and second place in the finale. Both drivers, as Stephen mentioned, level on points going into the last 2 races of the season. Let's get a quick word with Gerald Hendry, who took the final step of the podium in that one, who joins us now. Gerald, you must be thrilled to get yourself on 3rd place there in the finale.
Over the moon. It's been an up and down day, a poor qualifying, which has gradually got better and better. So yeah, it's the first time in the car, new car for me. Mark Dixon was the previous owner, so I've had the phone call from him giving me a few pointers and tips, but at the end of the day we just had to keep it on the road, and we were solitary in the middle in 3rd place between 2nd and 4th, stuck in no man's land, but it's a great podium. Over the moon.
Great stuff. Many congratulations, Gerald.
Thanks very much.